Welcome to the channel. Today's topic is this cool phone, Salora SRP25. Let's look around it first before I tell more about it. It's got a handle, the radio part, the phone itself, buttons and switches, and moreover, this nice phone, what do you ever call this one, the part where you speak to. And it's made by Salora. So those who don't recognize it, my Mobira, and it's made by Salora. So it comes from the word Saloradio. What it became later was essentially Mobira and Nokia mobile phones. So if you call the previous video which I had about the Nokia Talkman, that was some people call the grandmother phones. Well, if that's the grandmother, what would you call great-great-great-great-grandmother, or the first one? This would be it. This is significantly more rarer, difficult to find. It's clearly mobile. You could attach it to your car, whatever, but it was meant to be a mobile. It was part of what was called the early ARP, auto radio something. Yeah, anyway, it was called ARP network. Auto radio phone, I think it was. It was a network that was, I think, at least in Finland. And now I'm talking about not about 80s, but early 70s. So these were the predecessor of the NMT, which was the phone I showed you before, the early mobile phone before GSM networks and so on. So this is ARP network. And this is really the granddaddy of all of these, because it was the first network that was like a complete coverage of an entire country. And you could travel anywhere in the country and use this phone. So this was, in my opinion, personal opinion, this is one of the first true mobile phones in the world. Sure, there was a few models made before this, but there were limited features, limited availability. Didn't have all, but this SRP25 is, I believe, if I understand correctly what I read, it's the first one that became a commercial success, at least in Finland. And you can guess it's rather big. So this one here, again, I didn't have an antenna with it. It was broke. There's a connector. Let's put this load here. There's a charging port, XLR. This contains the battery and the stuff for the phone itself. This is the radio part, the electronic stuff. You can remove this one and put it to a car and so on. There's the buttons. Let's see if you can see it here in the slide. There's Virta means power, Valo means light, and Kutsu means call. Here's dials for the different channels, 99 channels, I believe. Volume and volume button. And the speaker here and this phone. So there was different variations of this one over time. Like, of course, they became smaller as we entered 80s before the NMT. And they were parallel in use with NMT for a long time. I think one of the reasons that the coverage of this one was way better, and this has had a powerful transmitter. I think it was like 15 watts maximum. And this one, as you can see, this phone has a nice coloring in the dial pads. I don't know why that. And it has, I think it's called tangent. So when you spoke to it, you press this one down and it clicked and you could talk and then you listened and so on. And now this is way before my time. Okay, I existed but was a small baby. So this individual one is somewhere in the middle of the 70s. It's really difficult to find reliable sources. As wherever I read, even from original Nokia, Salora, whatever history websites and so on, they saw these from different dates and so on and different histories, but somewhere in the middle of 70s. Anyway, that's when this model came. Earlier ones before that, they were mainly used for, I remember reading there was for military, Navy, there was for sea purpose airplanes and so on made these. But this one was the first kind of more multifunctional, had more channels, because you basically, this, if any of you ever used ARP, I have few friends that did. However, they don't remember much about how it worked. It's long enough time ago. But if I understand correctly, you had a channel here which you set and you put on, and it would be barely ready to receive. And there's some sort of, I don't know if it's a manual, automatic central. And basically, you would call with your phone, you would set a certain channel for calling somewhere, and then they would connect you to another phone and they would notify which channels to put. Somehow, it was most of the handshaking and the work between the phones was, and the connecting was done in a semi-manual way compared to NMT and later, which have all the protocols, handshaking, connecting, roaming is done hidden from the user. So this one is, yeah, as it says, it's made by Salora. It's very, very pretty, heavy. And what I'm now trying to do is with the same one as the other one, so I'm going to try to make it run again. Obviously it doesn't work. The batteries have run out probably very long time ago. So this one is the radio part. I don't think I will touch anything here. If it's like the Nokia Walkman, it's well made. There's nothing going to be nothing wrong with it. They did them so well. So based on the batteries are located in here. And I just need to disassemble somehow, and maybe we'll get to power it up and see what happens. See you when I'm further down the line. So as I opened this phone, I realized that the battery had been basically gone everywhere, leaked, and I cleaned up, everything is perfect, but the battery was gone. So I wanted to rebuild the battery, and I contacted a local company here in Tampere, and very nice one in downtown. They really know their batteries and everything, and they rebuilt me this one. Just because I can't have nickel cadmium anymore, so they make nickel metal hydride, or what it's called, battery. Same voltage, about the same capacity, same charging system, so perfect. And it's in this funny, so Nokia made batteries, or Nokia's predecessor, Mobira, made batteries like this. You can see that it was big cells. Well, the modern ones are so much smaller that he filled it did nicely and supported everything there. The company that rebuilt this. So, and it goes into this slot. And they had even this nice string in the end that helps you to pull the battery out from its slot. And it matches. And the battery is back in its slot. Now I just need to put this cable. Okay, so now the battery is back in place. I tried finding a suitable antenna for this one, just to have the real look, but difficulty finding the same materials as Salora used back then, or Nokia later. Nokia mobile phone. So let's try this on. So nothing is leaving this thing. Nothing's been transmitted, but let's try it on. It's all connected. That would be, sorry if I'm shaking of nose, Virta, okay? That LED blinked. Oh yeah, they're using LEDs, really early LEDs from the 70s. Yeah, this is cool. No lamps, LEDs. Okay, let's try the light button. Oh, let me take this off. The light came on. So this is how you change the channels. You can see the numbers. That's cool. No volume here. It's like 0, 0, nothing. Okay, this is cool. I have no idea what to do. Let's take there's not so many buttons as in the Nokia Talkman. I will take this off. Okay. Oh Lord. I can hear. No, you can't hear, but I can hear this like a humming noise. Definitely it's receiving something. I mean, it's not receiving because this is here, but it's making a noise. I will push the tangent. Nothing. Let's put this one button. Tangent works, the LED goes off as I push the tangent. Booked. It's basically calling someone, trying to receive. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. I take it off, wait. Okay. Okay, now it took the light off and it's not, didn't hit much. So there's channels and these. Well, theoretically, if I would put the antenna here and not put this call sign like receive something or say, because I think this is what is like send connection request somewhere to do call someone. And then you put this, as I remember, certain channels was meant for certain different functions and there was notification, all kind of use for the different channels. So but this, basically this is a very complicated radio phone that had a countrywide network of receivers and transmitters, this big antenna stuff everywhere. This one doesn't work. Let's try. Okay, if I put it there. Sorry about the volume. This one doesn't care about the volume button at all. Where does some channels... Okay, it's coming from that speaker, but this one doesn't make a difference. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Certain channels don't make any sound. Let's put one make sounds. Push. Now it ended it. Now it's completely mute. Well, this one doesn't do anything. I have a feeling it's nothing to do with this one. It's rather to do with the sound from the phone, which you can maybe adjust. Okay, not pushing that again. Didn't heat up. The light is cool, the light dial part. Take the light off and take the power off. I'm very happy. Let's put more lights on, we can see it. So I guess it's working. It was doing what it was supposed to do. Theoretically, because if I understand correctly, that one channel is just for receiving, like from somewhere. It's in a frequency area which is now used by radio phones for certain usage, but not even amateur band, just radio phones. But I mean, you're not supposed to do anything with this, so I'm keeping this one. But theoretically, I guess you could receive stuff with this in those frequencies. If there would be something there, maybe you could hear, maybe not. But definitely it's something. Though for this one, as the other Nokia Talkman, I need to get find a charger for them. And the charger you can still buy. It was made originally by Mascot and Nokia. Salora Mobira just put the sticker over it. The problem is it needs a special connector. In this one it's XLR, but again I don't have the pinout. Any of you have the charger pinout for this one? It would be nice to know. The charger part is really rather complex, just like the Walkman's is. I mean, they did very good chargers, built-in ones, so no problem there. Just would take very long for me to reverse engineer the whole thing. I don't have the time for that. But yeah, so this is really the great-great-great-great-great-grandmother of all mobile phones. There was other makers that made these too in the early part, but I think, if I understand correctly, this was one of the first commercial successes. Salora SRP25. I mean, it's a beauty. It's well made. And a true mobile phone with a carry handle. Thank you for watching and see you in next video. Oh, and something came to my mind. Just like I think I said with the Nokia Walkman, or Talkman, that it would be cool to have some sort of emulator or something device that I could connect to this one to mimic the behavior of this system and to be able to use it somehow, even if not transmitting, just via cable. That would be cool. I really need to think about how to make this again so people could original one, save it and make it work and try it. Okay, I need to and experience its use. Okay, I think that will be a bigger project. See you.